MaJaMa Jams is brought to you by Demon Bird Daycare, where your children are never safe.
The Megalodon. Among all the species of sharks, the Megalodon was definitely one of them. It lived about 20 million years ago, from the early Miocene to the Pliocene. The Megalodon was massive, its length was from here to there and from there to here. Its weight was over 65 tons. And it was as powerful as a locomotive, although far less effective on land. Its huge mouth was filled with hundreds of razor-sharp teeth, or, in rare cases, with just one single, enormous premolar. The Megalodon became extinct mostly because it was discovered that one specimen could be turned into over 1 million fish sticks.
MaJaMa. MaJaMa. MaJaMa.
East side, we're taking on water! Coming right there!
East side.
Over here! Hey, over here! Welcome back, everyone, to MaJaMa Jams, a show where we discuss other people's shark movies to avoid watching our own. And on that note, it is the most holiest, contractually obligated of holidays, guys, and it is once again Shark Week. Earlier than normal this year, I feel like.
It's earlier than normal.
It's earlier than normal.
It's earlier than normal?
It's earlier than normal.
It's earlier than normal.
It's earlier than normal?
It's earlier than normal.
It's earlier than normal.
It's earlier than normal?
This year.
Yeah. I feel like it was August for a while there, then it bumped up to late July, and then
I don't know if it was August.
early July.
December one day.
December? Then Flag Day one
All
year.
the sharks are frozen at that point.
Yes.
Frozen sharks.
We do have work to do.
So, today's a very exciting episode because, you know, a couple years back we became unavoidably, inevitably linked with the world of sharksploitation because we released our very own bad CGI sharks. And so, we are in the world of shark movies. And, you know, a lot of people, like fans sending Bukowski stuff about the horse races, talk to us about sharks, not knowing that we aren't necessarily crazy about them. You know, Mateo grew up suckling at the teat of Jaws, classic Spielbergian iconic greatness.
That's an image that it will never leave my mind now.
Mateo sucking a shark teat. That's why you tune in.
I don't think they have
Matthew
teats.
thinks about it. He's a sick boy, so he starts to grin.
I'm hoping this is a random incident.
So, you guys are probably saying, wow.
Wow!
There's a lot of sharksploitation movies out there that are so bad that they're really fun to watch. You've said that before.
Yeah,
You naive fool.
I say, wow.
Wow!
There's so many sharks. It's fun to.
You say it so much I get
yeah.
sick of it. You
Yeah,
just say it
yeah.
again right now.
Yeah. Wow.
You say it again. So, here's the deal. And here's why today's a very exciting day on MaJaMa Jams to celebrate the holiest of weeks.
You bet your balls.
Is, guys, a lot of shark movies are not good. Hot take. Laying it down on the table from old Jason. A lot of shark movies are incredibly boring, unwatchable slogs that have none of the sparkling, oblivious charm that makes a true so bad it's good. But one movie does. Trust me. And I'm going to lay down my argument today. I think the guys would agree with me, and this one, of course, is who introduced it to me. Back all the way at the beginning of our friendship. It is none other than Shark Attack Tres Megalodon.
Megalowho?
The third one in the trilogy, but who cares about the first two? Because, guys, this just may be the greatest shark movie in history. Now, you're probably saying, Jay, when you're talking about shark movies, you split them up into two categories. You know, more traditional actual movie fare, like The Meg, Jaws, of course, The Shallows, 47 meters down, something like that, and then the endless deluge of crappy low-level sharksploitation. So you're probably saying, well, you're crowning this the king of the bad sharksploitation, right? I may even say this is the best shark movie. I know we don't budge Jaws. I know we don't do that. I know that's not something we do. Mateo, you know that.
Really?
But this right here, this is what every bad little sharksploitation wishes it was. This is gold. This is cackling throughout. It does not get boring. There's always something to laugh at. There's a million different reasons. We're going to do the plot in about 5 seconds because it's the most generic Jaws ripoff ever. It doesn't matter. And then we're going to break down to you people just why, for Shark Week, Shark Attack 3 is the king of these things, and none others need apply. None others need apply. Matthew, give us 5 seconds of the synopsis, the most basic plot ever.
A lot of AT&T subscribers are pissed that their phone service is really bad.
In the 80s, AT&T had problems with sharks biting through their fiber cables.
Due to an underwater cable that keeps getting molested by sharks. So a dude, Johnny
Burt Bacharach.
Ben is a guy, and he's like,
This summer, a dude is a guy.
The cable is something. I found this tooth. Let me take a picture of it, put it online. And this skank, who says she's a marine biologist, but she's actually a paleontologist,
And a skank.
says, I found your tooth online. I'm here to get your tooth. Give me your tooth. And then she's like, I'm going to try to find the shark. And he's like, all right. And then she goes on the boat, and they get attacked by a smaller megalodon. And
15 feet. It's a bottle.
Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark.
And then he's like, what the hell? I thought you said you were a marine biologist. And she's like, no. And then they go out and they find a bigger shark.
Mommy shark, mommy shark, mommy shark, mommy shark.
They get a tooth from it. They try to close the beaches with that tooth as evidence. And then the guy's like, no, we're not going to close the beaches. And then there's a yacht party about the decreasing sales of Apex Cable Company. And then the Megalodon rams them.
Decreasing sales party 97.
And then they gotta attach a tracker to the shark so that the torpedo that the old dude stole from his military days in the Navy can shoot a torpedo at it. And then they blow up the shark with said torpedo.
But the tracker doesn't work, so they use the mini sub as a
It's a very
tracker.
cute little sub.
Yes.
It is the most cutest, adorable sub ever.
Very roomy inside, though. It's like a cartoon
Yes.
dog's house inside.
Yes. It's like Snoopy's
Yeah.
dog house.
I expected you to just say, oh, it's Jaws, and then this happens. But, you know.
I mean, you gotta give them some gosh darn context if you want them to care.
Damnedest thing I ever heard.
This is actually a movie. Oh yeah, and then they kill the shark, and ending with the wonderful
Megalowho?
Megalowho?
Megalo what?
That's not funny. That's not funny at all.
This is a movie that rips off Jaws 3D. There is a shark.
Go on.
Oh yeah, it's in 3D. There's a shark, and you think there is a shark. Then the shark dies, and then mom arrives.
Actually, that's the plot of Gorgo.
It's part of
Yes.
the Meg too, right?
Yeah. The Meg ripped off Shark Attack 3 Megalodon.
Which ripped off
Which
Gorgo.
ripped off Jaws 3.
Which ripped
Which
off.
ripped off Gorgo.
What did Gorgo rip off?
The Meg.
His anal glands. Wait, is that the one?
What? No.
That's Younger.
No, that's Younger.
Damn, that was good, but wrong beast. Yongari is the infamous anal bleeding scene. For those of you who know,
Wait, then who does-
you know.
For
was the other
those who are
one?
keeping track.
What was the other?
So
Gorgo.
yeah, so the two big different offshoots of kaijus are Gorgo from I believe the UK and Yongari from.
South Korea,
South
I
Korea.
Oh, there's only
think.
two. Maybe in 1947.
I just mean that the two big
I know what you meant.
Well, there is
Toho and
the beast from...
oh no, I was by no means saying that's it. I was just saying those are kind of big ones that are not big brand Toho ones or other ones. No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, This is great for a myriad of reasons. Now, first things first, let's get to the meat of it. You cannot make a so bad it's good if you're aware of it. You cannot make a so bad it's good if you want to be bad, if you're intending to. This movie works because this is just an honest attempt to make a cheap shark thriller.
Well,
Bullshit!
It's from the time these movies were taking themselves seriously.
yeah.
Which makes all...
Yes,
that is the thesis for this. It makes all the difference in the world.
They knew it was risky.
Look, the reason why, and maybe the first one's still a little different because it kind of treats itself like a movie, but the reason why I would speak out against Sharknado as opposed to just being like, whatever, I don't like them, is because I feel like what should be the zaniest concept ever ends up being actually excruciatingly boring, culminating in the sixth one where we get time travel and T-Rexes and pirates and Dee Snider and flying shark. I mean, everyone has
37
flying
Tara
sharks.
Reeds.
37 Tara
Way
Reeds.
too many Tara Reeds.
And it was the most painful thing we've ever had to sit through. So all the sharksploitations, I feel, approach it with either like, oh, cheeky, winky, winky, we know, or like, who gives a crap. This feels like
Is that
people...
a British prank show?
Actually, this feels like people actually cared, and it just kind of came out mediocre, and it makes it wonderful.
You bet your balls.
We now return to
MaJaMa. Don't be late.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, me too, but I'm really wired.
Now, this, of course, a certain type of movie nerd will know this contains what many people believe to be the greatest line in history. In fact, in the first months or years of my friendship, Matteo pitched me this movie as having the greatest line in history so many times that I said, hey, man, you got to understand how expectations work. You've told me that so many times it's not going to hit, and then I shut the hell up because it still did. He told me over and over again, and it still did.
What was the line?
The line was, take you home and watch some Lucy.
I'm really wired. What do you say I take you home to watch Lucy?
Now, well, is the line going to be bleeped for you too?
No.
No.
No? Okay.
I think it should be, though.
So the line is,
I'm really wired. What do you say I take you home and eat your pussy?
well, here's the thing, and you guys tell me what you think as comedians philosophically. I was a little disappointed by the fact, because, Matteo's joke when he first played me, this iconic line is, and the screenwriter was like, wait, I've got it! Funny that they actually put that up. John Barrowman apparently was really late, and they wanted to do one last take, and he told the director...
The director asked me to get something out of the female who I was acting opposite, and I leaned over to her, and I ad-libbed this, and I said, I'm feeling kind of wired. What do you say I take you home and eat your pussy? Right? It was a joke to make her laugh. They left it in the freaking movie.
So while I appreciate Barrowman just kind of trying to, get the crew laughing in a late-night moment, and it worked... It feels like, it was supposed to be a goofball line as opposed to, no, that's literally the line we wanted to go with.
I mean, don't confuse your enjoyment with Origins,
But if you had to pick, I feel like it's funnier if that was like, no, that's the romantic line before our sex scene.
That night, the screenwriter of this movie committed suicide because they said, oh my God, John Barrowman came with a better line in their mind.
Yes, I'll never be able to write that well. Yeah. Just out of Barrowman's mouth in 5 seconds at 2 a.m.
I don't know the specifics.
So it's funny because I feel like we have things that adhere to comedic timing. Now, there was one joke in this where I was about to double over because the timing is so flawless. They're sitting at a table, and they do the classic, hey, why don't we go talk over here? And they
Let me walk you out.
Let me walk you out.
Ben, let me walk you out.
Sure. Nice to meet you.
Goodbye.
Pleasure.
And they pretty much literally just stand. The camera just slightly shifts.
As soon as the other people that they...
I mean, those two people could have left the table.
Dude,
yeah,
it
they could have died.
It plays like a Naked Gun joke, and it works.
Do you mind crawling under the table while we speak over here, just so you a little bit out of
Do you guys mind to go la 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 for half an hour while we're talking?
Ben, let me walk you out.
Sure. Nice to meet you.
Goodbye.
Pleasure.
It actually works. It's actually funny.
You sure you want to move the camera? We'll go a little further. Nope. It's fine where it is. Do the shot there.
Is the Buster Keaton rule that if the camera doesn't see it, the spectator doesn't see it. So at that point, they take 2 steps, so that's enough to cut out of the screen the people they want to not to talk to, that's fine.
Bullshit!
But
Maybe
there's also like they found a guy's like okay, when we say this line, I want you guys to picture our immortal Frank Drebin saying it.
We found a guy's leg near a beach where he was playing frisbee with his dog.
Oh my god.
And the joke would be that how would he like some of these things work.
The frisbee
like,
was on the beach though.
Like actual Naked Gun or
the
jokes.
deduction is clearly, I found a leg. There's a frisbee over there. There's a dog. Hence, the
and
rest
how would
of
the leg get back on the shore after the?
Well, they probably found the body, and so the leg was missing.
No,
a leg.
because
If
they said if we found the leg, we didn't find the body without a leg. We found
Like
the
if-
leg
if-
without the body.
If the shark bit the leg off, wouldn't it go right into the
How did you
mouth?
know this? Hey, rookie, leg, dog, frisbee, coming together for you?
Well, here, catch it. Get it.
Now, similar to Ezekiel Sims in this year's much maligned Madam Web, every single line is dubbing in ADR.
Yes.
So, Matteo, you were telling me something interesting to my idiotic don't know about the business brain. You're saying they actually shot this with no sound, which is why every line is frigging post?
This has been shot in Bulgaria, which was a typical fair for New Image, which is a production company. And if you're looking at the closing credits, only 3 actors are Americans, and all the rest are Slovenian, Slovakian, Russian, or something like that. So
these are real places?
Yes.
You bet your balls.
So what they do is that sometimes they feed them the line phonetically, but they don't bother to with the timing. That's why the warden speaks in a very weird ways. He makes pauses where there shouldn't be a pause.
Bonnie's been waiting 65 million years. I think she can wait a half hour while you grab a sandwich.
Unless you're Christopher Walken.
2 little mice fell in a bucket of cream. The first mouse quickly gave up and drowned. The second mouse wouldn't quit. He struggled so hard that eventually he turned that cream into butter and crawled out.
They are kind of Walken-ish.
So
I think she could wait. Let's do it in the voice. I'll do my bad impression. I think she could wait a half an hour while you grab a sandwich.
Need more Forrest Gump.
It is Forrest Gumpy, but
and it's the same. I quote a far superior movie. It's why the old Indian man in Temple of Doom speaks with very weird pauses.
The evil start in Bangkok, then like monsoon, it moves darkness over whole country, over whole country.
You don't know it.
Because apparently Spielberg was off camera feeding him the line, so he would listen, repeat them, and so there is this pause, let's say natural pause. So if you're learning just like phonetically, and of course these movies were shot in 5 days, 10 days, something like that. So
5 hours.
You don't, yeah. They don't want to make them. They say, oh no, let's say take 26. No, it's just like cut and print the first most.
He
of
didn't
the
even
time.
open his mouth though. It's fine.
Yeah, that's the guy at the beginning.
We're 4 hours behind schedule.
Don't worry. We'll make up the lost time.
Isn't Porter done with that cable patch yet?
He's still working on it.
Let's talk about our lead, who gets a lot of mileage out of looking like Dollar Store Tom Cruise.
Totally, even with those little sunglasses like from the first Mission Impossible film.
It is John Barrowman, who the guys tell me went on to be one of the Doctor Who's, a nerd franchise I know nothing about.
Guys.
Or just Matteo, you have no idea either?
I know.
Okay.
He is in Doctor Who.
He's in Doctor Who.
What about aging? Because I can't die, but I keep getting older. The odd little gray hair, you know? What happens if I live for 1,000,000 years?
I really don't know.
Okay, vanity, sorry. Yeah. Can't help it.
He's not Doctor Who.
No, I
He's
don't think so.
inside.
He's
He's gonna make the joke because he's gay. Having sex with men.
and he's also.
John, you're gay. Is this sex thing gonna be a problem? Oh gosh, she's not gonna have those things out, is she? Oh Jesus.
I gotta do what to him?
John Barrowman does much for this production because we get it almost like they literally told him to do it. In the Megalowho is almost like the way Ben Stiller plays Tom
Yes.
Cruise. It's almost literally Megalowho.
Megalowho?
But for the rest of it, we get a lot of mileage for this type of movie out of his Tom Cruise light because there's always a big, toothy grin, and he's kind of the perfect. Again, I know Barrowman's a pretty good actor when he's not in this, but he's kind of the perfect meatheady, like, hey, I'm just a guy on the shore who wants a blonde girl, and I don't know how to fire the
And
cannon.
surprisingly, for the kind of movies that it is, he is all in.
Look, that is what you're dealing with. You can't keep this quiet. We have got a 60-foot shark swimming off our coast that's not going to go away.
He is not distracted and everything. He's
He's really
very focused. And
again, that adds to it, especially with the.
He genuinely carries the movie, and whereas his female partner,
The butthead.
It's
I came here for a tooth. I came here for a tooth and also to have sex.
I keep forgetting her name.
Jenny
Sloshercock.
McShane, Jennifer McShane.
And it's all my fault.
Hey, here comes old Jenny Sloshercock. You got your acting real, or you're just gonna do that thing where you slosh a cock and get the role?
Who now? I will surprise you with this tidbit of information, which I already forgot. No, she works in
Kroger.
Only Murders in the Building, but
what?
As a visual effect technician or producer.
And right now, Mom is on the couch going, how about that? So old Jenny Sloshercock kind of has permanent fart stank face.
Honey, family name or nickname?
Thank God I'm getting married. Just said, starting your email with that? Well, you know, they know you at the company. You don't have to start every email with, hi, it's me, Jenny Sloshercock.
And then... And then there is Kurt Vonnegut, who is playing whatever his name is.
I also feel like he does a lot to kind of...
It's the bodyguard from To Catch a Predator.
Ryan Cutrona.
That's his name?
Yes.
This isn't over yet, Tolly. Not by a long shot.
Get him out of here.
Who has done a bunch of television as a character actor. He's fairly...
Kind of reminds me of... It's gone.
Yeah, I had that feeling too. Yeah.
That's not the point.
We now return to MaJaMa.
I was running one of the tracers, checking the line resistance, and we lost it.
Overloaded the line?
No, sir. It was well below capacity. 1 minute it was fine, and the next we shorted out.
That's all I need.
So most of the cast gives glorious line readings because of the stilted ADR.
They catch
which
them on film.
Makes all of it really great.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
We get light Barrowman Tom Cruise.
You know, sharks are always biting things.
The other guy kind of, does his part well. And then we have
the eyebrows guy. Who's the mayor?
We have the mayor, who is a square jaw.
He's kind of
no, he's the leader,
he's kind of McKee, no?
The owner of Apex.
Today, we begin official use of a new generation of communication technology.
The only company that has a name
He
that
looks
is
like a thin...
Apex,
hold on.
and the logo as an arrow that points
Okay,
down.
that's actually...
Plus you have the A. Go up.
I was not going to go with the... I was not going to go with the example I had for the Zucker. That was a really funny one, but I was thinking, that's a hilarious joke.
Apex by definition, like it's a Zucker Brothers that the company is down. It's funny.
My
and the
theory
logo
is that they brought the logo Apex and they say, let's put an arrow on it, because the first time that you see it is outside the building.
It doesn't have an arrow?
And no, it does have an arrow, but it's glued on top, and I think they glued it upside down, so they got stuck with that.
That's
If it happens like that, I want to believe it.
Damnedest thing I ever heard.
Yes?
It's funny, the anecdote we were just discussing.
Yes, it's
that's
quite
hilarious.
amusing.
No, the Apex sign is like, what seasoned comedian is working on this? That was the example I wanted to go with. That's a great visual gag. That is genuinely funny.
Yeah.
And also, as we said, unfortunately, we learned today that Godzilla vs. Kong just ripping off things in these episodes. That company's name is Apex, so Godzilla vs. Kong ripped off Shark Attack 3. Man.
Check out this ape's pecs.
That's how they got it.
With John Barrowman. Hey, John, do you mind to check this ape specs?
Again?
Honk, honk.
And then you go to... No, we cut to...
Yeti. Ew.
So surprisingly, for the this being a cheap sharksploitation is the biggest problem with sharksploitation.
Oh, I'm sorry. You forgot also the probably mayor, probably whatever, who is...
Unibrow.
He looks like a Doc Octopus.
Everything will be fine. It's better be. Don't worry. A friend of mine here has brought us a little insurance. Just in case that shark shows up.
Molina.
Yeah. And,
oh, that's what I was going to say. Isn't Eyebrows guy, isn't he very McKee? Very close to McKee.
Who's McKee?
Robert McKee.
It does.
Am I wrong? Put it side by side.
Maybe the eyebrows.
No, come on.
I was thinking a thin Jordan
I
Baker.
kind of feel like I'm dead on here. It is very eyebrow-centric. But anyway, every fan knows the biggest problem with sharksploitation is it's incredibly hard. And even in the big budget ones, I'll always hate the Meg for having the budget and not giving us the inner tube massacre. But it's
But
very...
that because they wanted to stay PG-13.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, what
absolutely
an
right.
absolute
It's just
waste.
so frustrating.
Yeah.
Biggest wasted opportunity in cinema history, one might say.
You bet your balls.
So the biggest problem is shark to human contact between the water and the CGI or the puppets or whatever. We get a lot of
puppets,
like gyrating, freaking spastic editing. Where just I'm thinking Mateo of the ultra confusing Jaws 4 opening boat scene.
Oh yeah.
But often they get even worse on like some Jason Bourne, like 5 edits in 3 seconds to compensate, or they cut away to black. I mean, I really hate when a shark movie sets up a kill and just cuts to black. It's like you set up a scene, and it just cuts to black. I hate when shark movies do that. So the biggest problem is the contact, and for this just being a cheap little thing, I'm like, they just do what I assume was a shark puppet biting puppet legs, but it's honestly one of the better ones I've ever seen in these movies because you get, okay, there's a dude's, and granted, we get our share of frantic what the hell's going on edits, but you get a lot of, okay, limb, puppet clamping on, you get some really kick-ass puppet shots, like I think the shark bursting into the cabin as the ship is sinking almost belongs to a different movie because, again... base level realism. You have a puppet, there's a thing there, so the shark head is in there. I think it's actually pretty damn cool. And I'm very impressed for for what it is. And in addition to that, the stock footage shots are usually groan worthy, but they're pretty decent here. I feel like if you're going to use stock shots, there's at least a nice, they notice, close-up shot of them, shot of the shark, they ping-pong with the reactions.
With the sole exception of, at a certain point, the shark, in a very confusing sequence, the shark is supposed to attack another shark. But then when they have the footage, the footage of it popping out of the water is actually biting a seal. And then there is the half a shark floating. That is.
I could not make heads or tails.
Yeah,
of
that is. It took me
I
forever.
thought they were going to use a seal in place of it biting the people. and I groaned, and then I saw that they were still cutting away further away from the people with another shark, and I was like, wait, what?
Well,
that is very, very, very confusing.
We need to talk about.
But as far as patchwork goes, like you said,
no, it's honestly some of the best I've seen, and we need to talk about the.
Even if it's bad, just give it to us.
We need to talk about the lab created effect that is once again everything these movies are supposed to be. I don't know if I've seen a better example where it's like, no, you guys knew what you were doing. That's how it's done.
Not by a long shot.
When we're supposed to have our massive show-stopping third act Megalodon, the people or boat shrunken down going into its mouth is B-movie shark nirvana.
Yes.
It is, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. This is why you couldn't replicate this. If you said, hey, we're intentionally doing this type of movie, what is our money shot of where it's like eye-rollingly cheap, but also you couldn't. A man could not do this intentionally. They shrink down the ships and the people, and they go into, with honestly, once again, for the cheap effect it is, a pretty shocking amount of fluidity. For the effect it is.
Yeah. Plus imagine some 90s TV smudge over top
yes.
of it.
Yes.
And it's everything that a sharksploitation is supposed to be. Half of you wants to stand up and genuinely applaud. Half of you wants to guffaw. Half of you, oh my God, my math. Half of you wants to, like snort and cringe, eye roll. It's just everything. It's just cheap enough. It's just fluid enough. It's dumb.
Apparently, a clip of that attack of the yacht on YouTube has over 60 million views.
I remember that, yes.
Because it's so absurd and it's.
Well, it's fun. There's
There's
little things like that where sometimes just like a 5-second clip from a movie is just so gold that those things blow up. Like I actually, funnily to my point, I don't know what the movie is, but there is a scene where Cat Williams is in a jail cell doing a visitation call.
That one might be mine. That one right there. I'm not totally sure. Just because you name him Darren don't mean he belonged to Darren. But I don't care what this baby's name is. This baby is rice-skinned, but not light-skinned. That is a white child. That is Caucasian from the mountains of Caucasus. That is a Slavic baby, a Viking from Iceland.
And it's like the same thing. I think it's got millions of views. A bunch of people probably know what I'm talking about or could quote it. I don't even know what the movie is. So sometimes that happens. Yeah, I think I have seen that scene isolated. I've seen them in Twitter clips. So A+ to that, and I think that completely encapsulates why this is so good. It's just both cheese and stupid and fun. It's the apex of shark cheese.
Bullshit.
And one of the things that I adore in this movie is that there are some non sequitur, some moments they say.
The mask. Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa! 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 What is that? What is that? What is that?
I was so happy that he forgot because I was literally sitting there like, oh, it's time for the mask shot. I'm so happy you forgot. That was one of the things I think before we watched it full that you highlighted to me. It's beautifully pointless.
So,
again, in a lab. This was created in a lab.
It's a party.
It's a party with
it's our classic Chrissy opening scene in Jaws.
Yes, it's a party, but there is Eudora Fletcher convincing who is the murderer.
Wait.
That she wrote.
Wait, what's her name?
Eudora Fletcher. Angela Lansbury.
I thought it was Jessica Fletcher.
Jessica Fletcher. Oh, Eudora.
I was like, what is
the mom from
You know what's so funny is that it ends on a Fletcher, so it's almost like your brain has the last part. And you hear Fletcher like,
why did I say Eudora?
But both of us, I think, were like, wait, Fletcher's right. So my brain is instantly like, but you're like Eudora.
What the hell did they call Eudora?
At 7 a.m., Dr. Eudora Fletcher, a psychiatrist, makes her usual round.
Well, my name is Jessica Fletcher. I'm very anxious.
Jessica Fletcher, the author Jessica Fletcher.
Well, yes.
Nonetheless, hilarious because yes, it's Jessica Fletcher.
No one at this party is in costume, as far as I can see, right?
No.
So our teenage characters get on a water slide, start making.
They're smoking a joint.
That's always a bad sign. Rebellious. They get on a water slide that leads to the ocean.
Which is pretty cool.
Which is pretty cool.
And also, once again, give credit where credit's due. It's not the most complex thing, but I like the movie shot nature of following them down the slide.
Yes,
it's
so
nothing,
making out.
Nothing mind blowing, but it's fun. It's nice. It's very
on top of each other, rolls into the ocean.
Again, there's little nuggets of it's actually a nice shot. This movie has fucking everything.
The Megalodon knows that's where he's being fed, so he stays by the end of the slide. And then we cut to a girl.
Good. It's so good.
I don't know what it is.
Pulling off a clown mask, but it looks like she's looking down at the. Well, okay, is that it? Is the fact that she was on the dock
Whoa!
Is that?
We don't know where
it's
she
a reaction,
is.
It's a reaction shot, but it's like such a close up of just her head.
Yeah.
Is she looking down?
Yeah, she's staring at
It
something.
looks like she more has like the music video look of like.
Whoa!
You bet your balls.
But it doesn't look like that she's looking at. I mean, if she's looking at them,
Where
she
is
doesn't
she?
react whatsoever. Because I mean, if you see two people eaten by a shark, you probably get a little bit upset. Instead, she has no reaction whatsoever on the face, and she takes off the mask. Aha.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bullshit! It's all right here.
We now return to
MaJaMa.
I got him. I got him. What's it gonna take?
It depends. Once I saw a marlin fight for 5 hours.
5 hours. Oh.
And again, if you were to be like, hey, we're kind of intentionally making a B movie for nerds to laugh at, could you maybe put in a strategic, pointless shot? Like, I don't know if you could do it. It's just so great. That's what I'm saying. It's honest hands working with low means to create something, and the result is so gloriously, honestly mediocre.
Not to mention the marlin fishing sequence.
Yes.
Where there is this
They
guy.
never oh, okay. Is he? It looks. It's not played like it plays like he's forcing himself upon her, and he's literally as close behind the fisher as like my hand is to Mateo here.
But there's a guy fishing, and then there's 2 characters in the back making out, and it seems like the guy making out.
He's being forceful.
No, it seems like he's trying to talk to the old guy
Yes.
and to not let the old guy know that they're making out.
Yeah.
And because the old guy's kind of repeating what he's
I mean, I
guy's
guess
saying
that
to him.
makes sense, but it just looks awkward.
And then when it finally snaps the rod.
30 years.
Or something like that.
He's been on that boat with that mother for 4 years.
It's possible, but it's played as every single character has some relevance, and we never see them again.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna get killed? But it's just the marlin gets eaten.
Yeah.
I got me a marlin.
Only because they had footage of a marlin getting fish and get attacked. That's the only thing that they used.
I guess in that sense, it's fine.
Yeah, but it's weird to stage that weird, strange triangle on. Because I assume that the woman is the wife of the guy. Probably, I don't know.
I think it's the old guy fishing his daughter. So that's why the guy
He's fishing his daughter?
That's why he doesn't want him to know that he's making out with his daughter on the boat.
Oh, okay.
Is that what
And
it
she's
is?
saying, no, stop, please, my father's right there. And he's like, no, keep going. And she's unbuttoning his blouse.
That is in the director's cut
Yes.
that we haven't seen. Okay.
It's in the commentary. Gotta watch.
But it definitely has the kind of lack of cohesion that if you kind of zone out, you might be like, what's happening? And yet, again, it does not get boring, and I feel like all the way through the end, there's moments where it's like, oh, this is a hilarious one. The guy jumps off and falls into the shark mouth. Or did the guy, little thing, like he bashed his head against the banister and knocked unconscious or something?
Davis, you okay?
There's all little, this thing sprinkled throughout, and again, we end on Megalowho, which is the last moment, so you get the corny line in there.
One of the best.
That's them over there.
Exactly, one of the best scenes is the boat capsizes, and then there's a weird cut of the ocean, and then they go on top of the boat, and they're probably 10 feet apart, 12 feet apart.
They're over there.
As if they were miles.
But she can't see. Same thing when the boat is coming to rescue them. They're like, here.
Yes.
Yeah, he's coming right towards you, man. He knows.
He's already talked to you.
Yeah.
East side, we're taking on water! Coming right there!
East side.
Over here! Hey, over here!
One of the funniest things, which I feel like would slip by without most people noticing it, but it's freaking, can you guess what I'm going to say? It's so funny. Mateo pointed it out. It's like, it's a little thing, but it's so, can you remember? You know what I'm going to say?
No.
It's the ladder.
Oh.
It's such a small thing, and I bet you 99% of people just wouldn't even think about it. But when you notice it, he's just like, well.
I guess you got to think like directors like, no, I'm not going to film taking the time to reel the ladder back in and then close the door. We can't just fly off with the door open. Of course, let's just do it like that.
And then
throws the ladder.
It's the only chopper that is flying high, and there is a handrail reflected in the glass.
And we get the people reflected in the hotel room.
The people reflect. Oh, and then he is searching for the shark tooth online. He goes through not even 10 and says, that's too much.
Fast.
Then he takes a photo of the shark holding it by a tip, and the photo comes perfect, the whole tooth.
Like that's some like AI.
This is
blanks nowadays.
This close to a Frank Drebin movie.
Yes.
This is this close. The DNA and the language is there. It's crazy. And you know what else? As you're saying all this stuff, this is bad movie bingo. I got bad movie bingo. All the elements you want. ADR dialogue, bad dubbing, wooden people, charismatic people going for it anyway, bad chomp scenes, ridiculous chomp scenes.
He types mystery sharks. Then she sees it and is a mystery with an I instead of a Y. And then it turns back into a Y. It's everything is perfect.
It really is.
They're filming a shark eating, and halfway while the shark is eating, the guy
greatest
says,
money shot of all time with the shark. Like, okay, we got it. Done. When's lunch?
Unbelievable! Did you get it?
Yeah, I was planning to eat your heart out.
Yes!
Look out!
It makes zero sense whatsoever.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
I also wanted to highlight, because I feel like there's both, like I said, with the cabin scene, there are some actual cool scenes. The shark pulling and taking control of our parasailer, while not executed that great, is a pretty freaking cool idea. And even just the shot of the shark pulling it, effective at the cut to the taut line. So I do think there's a couple actual cool ideas thrown in.
Imagine knowing a shark
Yeah.
has your line in
Yeah.
his mouth and is dragging you down. Have you guys seen the viral video of the two girls parasailing and they see a shark below them, so they're trying to signal to the boat to say, hey, there's a shark, there's a shark, there's a shark.
Everything was just perfect until they saw something in the water.
I just saw a shark. Shut up. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. They're everywhere. Oh, my God.
They were about 300 feet in the air, so at first, they didn't feel threatened.
Look how pretty it is over there. Look at the shark. Don't dip us. Don't dip us.
And they absolutely lose it when their feet hit the water.
And eventually get into the water, but they can get pulled back up. It's just really, really nauseating.
No, I haven't seen it.
Is there anything else in this cornucopia of gorgeousness that we did not highlight?
I mean, yeah, of course.
I think I rattled off all of our favorite as shared as friends
There's
lines.
a horrible waiting music for the yacht scene.
You had me dying.
Just on loop.
You guys know another song?
Like you just called your bank and you've been stuck on hold for 45 minutes.
Oh, and then he motorbikes into the mouth of the
Yes,
shark.
classic.
No, not motorbikes. The
Parasailing.
Water
Poop
bikes.
bike.
Jet
jet
skis.
Jet skis. He jet skis.
Yeah, I think all of those have made the online rounds. The shrink mouth shots. It's a piece of
Frankie and net
history.
surfing.
Look,
style.
this is what I to me. You guys tell me if you agree.
Tell us.
Do.
We'll let
To
you know
me,
if we agree.
the world of shark movies comes down to three names.
Okay.
Now, if you're speaking in the arena of all movies, and we're talking about classics like The Godfather or Hitchcock, all that, Jaws, an actual entry.
The Godfather is a Megalodon Corleone.
Imagine him in one of these hats. That's why the hats are here. That's why I did it. I knew Mateo was gonna make that joke.
Yes.
Put it on Thomas's hat.
Right there, man.
Right there. You see, we have sharks wearing it. Shark Corleone.
Camera, get it.
Corleone.
Camera.
Cut to camera.
So,
Cut back.
We have The Godfather because it actually sits a classic good characters.
There's sharks in that film?
Storytelling. It is a movie. It kind of almost
definitely
goes
is
past
a
the
movie.
shark film. So there's Jaws, kind of the undisputed king. But what I think that every sharksploitation movie desperately wants to be, I think a very close second is Deep Blue Sea. Now, granted, that's a rare studio, Rennie Harlan, bigger movie, bigger budget directed, as opposed to the low-grade sharksploitations. But still, I believe the effect you get from that movie is the fun, zip, dumb B-movie awesomeness that every one of these sci-fi movies desperately wishes they had, but they're just crap. And then number 3, when you get down into the muck and you're like, okay, if I want the actual muck, because what I just listed are 2 studio movies, what's the actual king of those? It's got to be this. I can't imagine any other one coming close to the perfection of this. So I think it's almost like a tier. All movies in general, The King Forever, Jaws, just Spielbergian character study, The Shark's almost secondary, just too damn good, can't be budged. Next up, what every crazy shark movie wants to be, Deep Blue Sea. And what is the king of the actual scuzz that is a low-budget sharksploitation, is not above it, but is still amazing? Shark Attack 3.
Megalowho.
I think those are the 3 undisputed. Obviously, there's other ones, honorable mentions, ones that are close. But I think tier-wise and what this genre means, that's what I'm going with. And you just can't do better than this.
Really?
You can't.
But you can definitely do worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, highly, highly recommended by Chumley here. Saying what's up to all the sharks out there, stuffed and real and live. Chumley loved it. Nose rub. It's absolutely a blast. You know what I think? Usually a movie like this you want with friends, and I would recommend, but I think you could kind of even chuckle a little bit just on like a dumb afternoon. Just
the first time I saw it by myself.
Actually, that one last thing before we wrap up is I wanted to ask, how did you discover this awesome gem? Because you immediately in our friendship you started pitching me this as like a bad movie Bible.
About it.
So was it just a random stumble?
Yes, when I was.
You tripped over the DVD itself?
No, when
What is this? Why is this on my floor every day?
Filling my queue on Netflix.
Oh, the Netflix mail days.
I don't remember exactly what movie I
intended to get.
Yeah,
but this showed up.
I rented it, but it recommended me, which I already saw, Shark Attack, and the reason why I saw it is that the director of photography was Larry Sher.
Hey, Joker! Oscar nominated.
And then I found out, and Netflix was saying, hey, if you like this one, you might like Shark Attack 2 and Shark Attack 3.
Does one have Ernie Hudson?
The first one.
I got that right.
And Jennifer.
Tilly. What? She's a returning?
No, she's the first one, but she's a completely different character.
Franchise fact.
Trin?
Well, it isn't Stephen McRae, Mr. Big Time Shark Expert.
And so I say, oh, I didn't know that there were a 2 and a 3. Okay. And when I found this one, I say, okay, I gotta have it. It has to be mine forever.
You instantly got the effect.
Yes.
And you watched it alone the first time you
Yes.
said? And you laughed.
Yeah, oh,
so there you go, see? I think,
Absolutely.
because most, even the greatest of So Bad It's Good, like The Room, you probably could, you sit there, you smoke up late one night, but honestly, The Room is different alone. I feel like oftentimes they lose their powers, but there you go. Proof that this one may even be, if you guys just want to put on it solo and chuckle, it's great. It's fantastic.
And I think this one is probably the second movie I've ever shown you.
Really?
I think so.
First?
Blubbermouth.
Why'd you stop?
I want to see what the wind feels like when it blows against my face.
Don't you think it would work better if the car was moving, Steve? Sometimes you're so silly. I just don't know why you just don't sit on the stick shift.
Then my feet won't reach the pedals.
Look, just try it. It works for me.
Huh?
I'm an expert on everything, Steve. Don't you believe me?
No.
Really? You've told me that factoid before, and it seems weird every time. My brain goes to, actually, he was watching it too for the first time, but me, you, Conrad, we watched the American version of Funny Games. And I think it sticks out to me because it was one of the first times we had like a real, like, oh, it was over. There's a lot to chew on with this one. What do you think? And we really, I think Mateo was like, oh, you guys are good to watch movies with. We actually can have a discussion.
But that was all of us, so that wasn't Mateo showing us a movie. A little bit of personal history about your fellas here on the couch. So let's express our sharktastic feelings by throwing pieces of paper, but if the guys are anything like me, there's going to be no paper thrown, because to you people out there and any shark fans, I mean it, this is about as good as it gets. B-movie Nirvana, sharksploitation Nirvana, everything else bow down, an absolute blast. Jason's throwing nothing.
I considered throwing one, but when I compare it to all the terrible, god-awful sci-fi stuck in a boardroom or in a cheap closet, make it look like a submarine.
Yeah.
This is fun.
You're on the ocean the whole time.
And breezy and stupid, and a lot of genuine stock footage of sharks attacking things that I will take in place of cut to black.
And surprisingly, even if it doesn't make a lick of sense and is stupid, you like the characters.
Yes.
You're
that's what I'm saying. I like the old ball. He's fun. He's likable. And Barrowman is just the whole movie.
Yeah. They're just like, they're not boring.
Or at the very least indifferent.
Yes. Yeah. Because the
I'll
tragic thing about all of the sci-fi movies is that the characters say, sure, whatever. You cannot mention anyone. Here, you can actually, they're very distinct, and including the two hippies who are working at the board at Apex.
Do you want to answer it?
Not really.
The guy with the earring.
Oh my God, the '90s boy band Pac Sun.
The Kajagoogoo.
Little things like that. Like he looks like a Pac Sun boy band, and it's just great. It's great. So you're also going with none? I'd love to hear it. Mateo, bring us on home.
I'm going with a nun.
Hey, I'm going with a priest. That's why I'm like walking funny. But bum. Double joke. Wordplay on his, and also classic cliche molestation joke.
MaJaMa.
Guys, happy Shark Week. Matthew, you know who I think want to win some Shark Week? Grab Rob there from behind you. Doesn't matter if stuff falls, it'll be funny visually.
It really mattered.
No, I had to do the detail of him with the hat.
Plus, I don't want to reach back there.
Damn it. How many times have you said that in your life?
Not many.
Okay. So, happy Shark Week. Highly recommended. Do we know, is this on streaming? Matthew?
I don't know, man. Why are you looking at me? Oh.
Get your phone, yes. So
of course, it's got the same lineup as us, Tubi and Amazon. Free.
Hey! Even better. If you're watching this and you're a Shark fan and you haven't seen this, first of all, what the hell? Second of all, go on Tubi and watch it. And so, from our little pal Chun-Li, hats off to Shark Week. Much love. And we'll see you back next week on the couch for an all-new, unfortunately not shark-based, but still an all-new Jams. Yeah, it's Shark Week. This is how the episode closes. Steven?
Sorry, Steven. I don't mean to call your ass out, but it's true.
MaJaMa.
Megalo. Barrow man do barrow man do barrow man do barrow man. Jenny skank do Jenny skank do Jenny skank do Jenny skank. Movie sucks but it's great let's all watch it Shark Attack. 3 Megalodon.